All right. Hello, everybody. This is Tom Randall from GoldenCare. I want to thank you so much for taking your time out to jump on this webinar today. And tell you what, I'm really excited to talk to you today about the OmniFlex product and show you a little bit about the nuts and bolts and kind of the method behind our madness on it. And I will tell you that we're really excited. We had the national launch of this thing. We've got it available now in 30 states, actually 28 states. Just found out today, this last day, we had 2 more states get pushed up on the platform. So we've been doing some great things. We had a soft launch, as you know, with our career shop and a couple other agencies that we literally broke some records on what we thought we'd do with this product, because it really is a little bit different and it's really turning this industry around and doing some great things. So like I said, I can't even tell you how excited I am, because of the fact that this thing, I do think, could really help so many Americans. Because if anybody on this call knows who I am and knows what I'm about here at GoldenCare, and our whole team here, really, we're very passionate about long-term care and short-term care, or extended care, whatever you want to use for the term, because at the end of the day, the facts really don't lie out there, and it never goes away. We have a lot of gray hair in America, and you know what? Once you're age 65, 70% plus of those folks are going to need some type of care in their lives. And the scary part about it is, out there, is 90% of adults have never really had a true discussion about how to help themselves and their family. And when you look at COVID and throw that into the mix, you can see that last stat. It's kind of scary, isn't it? Where people are dying in nursing homes, and they're so afraid of those facilities now that some people at that point were saying 61%, I'd rather die than even go to a nursing home. So that's how bad it got. So we do need to offer solutions, and we know sometimes those facilities are very necessary, but what we want to do is come up with a plan that would help people and get them to the point where they felt really comfortable having a lot of options and keeping them out of that facility if possible for as long as possible. So I will tell you the disclaimer quick. I did freeze my screen. That's not your computer doing that. I did want you to know that we do have people on this call who are real familiar with OmniFlex already. We have a couple brand new people. We just did a marketing initiative to have some new faces on here. So some of you, it'll be drinking out of a garden hose, if you will, today. And some of you, it'll be a little bit of review, and especially this screen, you're probably sick of hearing it if you've been on a couple of my webinars. But I do want to give a quick little, it's a 3-minute little animated deal that I speak over. And it kind of shows you on the right-hand side are some of the top alternatives in the industry. And it shows you just a bird's eye 3-minute view of why OmniFlex is special and why we think it's going to do some great things. And hopefully you'll agree after even seeing this little 3-minute that I go through. So when we started out, we wanted to have a product that wasn't vanilla. It took over 3 years now to get this on the market, believe it or not. And it's not because we were slow or lazy, but it's because we really wanted to do something different. We didn't want to come out with just another vanilla product. We wanted to do something that literally had the potential to change this industry. Okay, so that being said, I'll get off my soapbox. First thing we looked at with this product is we wanted to make sure that we had underwriting. That's the number one thing. So many people can't get coverage, and we wanted to have simplified underwriting and 2 tiers underwriting so that we could cover as many people as possible. So you're going to see that's really one of my biggest bases that we talk about. Then we wanted to have level premiums. Some of those home health care only plans have tiered pricing that goes up every few years. With this one, it's the age at the time of the application and the premium at the time of the application. And then we know there's a lot of married folks, so we wanted to have strong spousal discounts. So we have a 10% spousal discount as well with this plan. Then on top of that, we also have this great built-in RX benefit. You might be familiar with it with some of the home health care only plans. $300 per year instant rebate that you can get for prescription drugs, and you don't have to be on other claim triggers or anything like that. So it keeps that net premium down. Because this is a comprehensive short-term care policy, we wanted to cover all of our bases on that side, obviously. So we have nursing facility, assisted facility. We even threw hospice facilities in there. And because there's so many MA plans out there that have big out-of-pocket expenses, we put in that hospital indemnity rider as well. More importantly, probably than the facility care in my mind, is people buy these policies to stay at home, right? They want to stay out of the facility as long as possible. So with OmniFlex, we wanted to design a plan that had really comprehensive medical home health care services. These are indemnity benefits, right? So no matter what other type of insurance you have, if you have somebody come in, and this list isn't exhaustive, we have the ability to get that full indemnity benefit, and we included hospice care in there as well. Almost or just as important as the medical home care is, we know people stay at home and they want to stay at home with dignity, so they need to have full custodial care benefits. That means full home health care aid benefits for the full indemnity amount plus the full benefit period. And that includes obviously homemaker and custodial services, as well as visiting angels and services like that. Where we really separate ourselves from the competition is right here. Every OmniFlex plan has an ability to have first day cash benefits. We know that we have a ton of people out there who want to say, my spouse will help me, my friends, my family, my church, whoever it may be. If you hit the claim triggers with this policy, we have the ability to get a cash benefit. It's called our Fast 50, and that thing can pay for those family members and things that the other plans out there just don't cover. And finally, we know this is a long-tailed product. We want to have inflation protection on this as an option. It's a rider, and if you choose the inflation rider, you get growth not just on your facility, but also on your home care and that cash benefit, which is so important. So in a nutshell, you can see on the right-hand side over there, we kind of cross out saying, if you're sick of saying no with all these other options we have in the industry, that's why we're so excited about OmniFlex. That's why we look at this and say, you know, wouldn't it be nice to have something in your portfolio that's not for everybody, but I'll tell you what, with the wide underwriting, two-tiered underwriting, and because it's so flexible and affordable and covers you in all areas of care with first day cash as an option, we really think OmniFlex is going to change the industry. And if you look at any of our testimonials or even our track record so far with this plan, we're really excited about the fact that we think this is something that most agents are going to definitely want to have in their portfolio. With this plan, you're going to see that it does a lot of things. And again, I want to stress the fact that we have agents at a lot of different levels on this call. So I'm going to go through and jump around a little bit. And if you're confused, one of the things we have going for you is we've got the great staff here, our marketing support team, second to none here at GoldenCare, to help you out. But one of the things I want to show is, you know, after that 3-minute video, we do have a great comparison tools that you can use. I'm just going to jump over right away, I think, to that one to show you just the side-by-sides again. If you want to look at this, if you're recruiting agents or if you're looking at this for yourself just to get a bird's eye view, you can see here that short-term care, number one, is really similar in a lot of ways, right? The short-term care plans, there's home health care only plans, and then there's full short-term care plans. All of those offer facility and home care benefits. All of them are indemnity plans, so that no matter what other type of insurance you have, you're going to not have to worry about coverage. So you can see we have OmniFlex here in product A and B, which some of you on the call will know right away which products those are. And they're great products. Don't get me wrong, I'm never bashing other products. What I'm trying to show you is we need all these products in your portfolio, and it's nice to have them all. But I do want to show you why we took so long and we're so diligent when we designed OmniFlex, because of the fact that it does some great things that some of the other plans don't do. We talked about the fact that it provides full benefit periods for home health aides. That's one of the things as we get into underwriting today a little bit. I'm going to talk about those home health care only plans that are great. We sell a ton of them at GoldenCare, and they're so necessary because they throw the underwriting net really wide. But with those, you end up where you have limited benefits and benefit periods for home health aides. So we want to make sure you know these plans in short-term care offer the full home health care aid benefit. Okay. Plus, they have 0-day elimination period for immediate access. As you know, a lot of you sell long-term care around this call, and we sell 90-day eliminations. With this plan, most of the time you'll have a 0 or 20-day maybe elimination on facility, and you'll have usually first-day coverages are most popular for home care. You can have other options available, as I'll show you, but most of the time people like to have that first-day coverage across the board. Plus, we have first-day cash, which really spreads the net wide, that I'll talk about as well. Including built-in restoration of benefits. This is one of those that I want to talk a little bit about because I know I've got some long-term care veterans on the phone. This is a little bit different with short-term care. You got to take off your LTC hat a little bit. Remember the old long-term care plans, and some of the new ones have restoration in there as an option or built in. But you don't use it quite as much with long-term care, right? Because the triggers of a long-term care policy, go pretty deep where you have to be sick enough that you need help for 90 days minimum before you even go on claim. So restoration is important, but it isn't a do-all. With this plan and other short-term care plans, restoration becomes really important. Why? Because with this plan, you don't have that 90-day certification or requirement in there for claims. So you can have things like short hospital stays and things like a hip replacement that you're going to not get covered with a long-term care plan, but with the short-term you will. Okay, so that's why I bring this built-in restoration up, for the fact that it's really important in short-term care. You will use it, and restoration basically says if you go on claim, use it for as long as you need it, and then all of a sudden jump out of claim. If you're healthy for 180 days, 6 months, and then you have another claim, your policy will have restored all the way up to your full benefits. And obviously it's up to 2 times, and there's some stipulations, but it's really, really strong with this plan. OmniFlex will restore both the facility care and the home health care. And you can see Product A does that as well, and it's multiple restorations. With Product B, they're a little more limited. They have a one-time restoration, and it's only on the facility, so it doesn't restore on the home health care side. So little things like that we want to make sure. There's footnotes down at the bottom of this you can read. We do include a spousal discount with this plan. Remember, 10% if mom and dad both get a plan. So that's over here. This Plan C has that. Plan B doesn't offer the spousal discount. And hospital indemnity, again, a lot of MA plans in there, so we kind of like this as a rider. You don't have to purchase it, but we did follow suit with what Company B did here, and they have a hospital indemnity rider as well. And with this one over here, there is no HI, okay? The inflation is really important. This is the long-tailed product. We don't sell it on all of our plans, but we sell it on a lot of them. And the reason is that it's really strong the way OmniFlex is set up. You can see Company B doesn't offer inflation. Company C does, but it's only on the facility side. They don't offer inflation on home care. With OmniFlex, we wanted to make sure we know people buy these policies to stay at home as long as possible. So we wanted their policy to grow with them as long as possible as well. So we do have a 5% simple inflation, 2 times max, built into this OmniFlex as a rider, not built in, but as a rider, okay? Next one, allow first day cash benefits. Again, that's our differentiator. We're so proud of the fact that Mutual of Omaha, as most of you know already, GoldenCare really was instrumental with our friends out at AIM putting this plan together with Mutual of Omaha. And we put that cash benefit in there, and I'll tell you what, it definitely made a difference in the industry, and it went from number 10 in the brokerage side over to number 1, and it's still sitting at number 1, and a lot of it's because of cash. Cash benefits, remember, 70% of people, when we came out with that first cash with Mutual, even at 40% cash benefit as an option, they ended up having 70% of people start out on claim with the cash, and about 70% of those folks stayed on it after that and stayed on it for their full amount of claims. So we know that's an important part of it. That flexibility is huge. That's going to be a game changer for you when you take out OmniFlex, because you have the ability to have spouses, family, and friends take care of you at claim time, okay? And we did talk already about the hospice that we included both on the home and facility. Not a huge deal, but we did want to put it in there that it is covered with OmniFlex. And again, it's indemnity benefit paid over and above. And this is a nice thing here. We took this from the home health care only plans out there, and it was so great working with Manhattan Delight team. I can't stress enough how important this group was to us. Their team, just got off a call with them again today. They're hands-on, they're working with us, they're listening to us, they're helping us work with them to make this product as powerful as possible. And one of the big things they were willing to do is put that prescription drug reimbursement into every one of these plans. And you know what? That's huge. When you look at the stats, 65-year-olds in America today, especially if they can't qualify for long-term care, we all know they have shoe boxes full of meds, a lot of them. The average 65-year-old in America today has, boy, I don't want to screw it up here. All of a sudden it's slipping me. It's 27.3, I think is the right stat. Don't crucify me if I'm wrong on that, but I think it's 27.3 refills or prescriptions that they're on. So this has a $300 prescription drug reimbursement. That's $10 for brand names, $25 for generic names. Boy, I'm struggling today. But anyway, the key is with this, not everybody's going to use the full $300, but this is right out of the gates. You don't have to hit the other claim triggers. You can start this reimbursement right off the bat when you buy OmniFlex. So that's a $300 net savings on premium. And you want to hear better news? Even without using the $300 or any part of it, if you look at this example, this happens to be a 61-year-old with this policy down here, $300 or $200 for facility and $300 home care. If you look at that, $91 a month for OmniFlex, $113, $115. So we designed a plan here with Manhattan, and them listening to us about the way this plan is put together, we can go out and do some tremendous things in this industry. So we're really excited about it, and I can't stress enough how important that is. Okay. That being said, I do want to let you know that today, like I said, a lot of different agents on with different levels. So I always put my staff and make them cringe, even though I promised that I would do a lot of these. We have a lot of recorded training already available on OmniFlex and on short-term care in general. But I do want you to know that we're going to have a full bevy of recorded webinars and live webinars to back up what we talk about today. So we're going to have things like the basics, talking about literally just the difference of long-term care and short-term care. We have a lot of Medicare agents who are diving in deep with this year. We're so excited about our Integrity family companies to get involved in short-term care. So it's going to be some real basic stuff that some of you on this call may not need for sure. Then we have OmniFlex plan design that's going to go into just the daily benefits, etc. That'll be a little recorded segment. Then we have our InstaPivot tool that I'll show you in a second that's going to knock your socks off. That'll make this job easier than ever for you to decide what short-term care product is best for somebody. Then we'll have the how to use the Manhattan Life site itself. And then we have all these different shorts we'll do, from underwriting, talking about the power of cash, the power of restoration, power of inflation. We'll have establishing the need, which is one of the most important parts for some of you on this call, where you might say, I don't even know where to start with short-term care. One of the things that we stress to agents are two things. First of all, short-term care is a bad name for a product. They used it just because long-term care was defined as 2 years or more coverage. So short-term care is what the industry used. But I'll tell you what, these plans are so flexible today. I can take OmniFlex, for example, and design $1 million potential plan, over $1 million. So you could have huge plans, very robust, and you can have little baby plans. They're very flexible. Okay, so don't think short-term care. You're going to hear us in training talking about the fact you're going to want to use extended care as what the verbiage you use, or something else, recovery care, whatever it is. We want you to use something so people don't think short-term care is a tiny little policy. Okay, I have a lot of educated adults I've talked to in my family even who said, oh, short-term care, does that just cover 90 days? You know, they don't realize that short-term care covers, nowadays, the way the plans are set up, 2 years for one claim, right? Because you have a facility and then a home health care rider or vice versa. So they're very powerful plans if you want to make them powerful. Okay. Secondly, the other thing is, this is not as hard to sell as you think. Long-term care, you had to jump through and get CE certifications, and you had to really understand all the different moving parts. With short-term care, we're going to teach our agents out there, if you want to keep it as simple as possible, you're literally asking a couple questions and starting a conversation and finishing up your usual sale in Medicare, whatever it may be, and ending up finding out if people need short-term care, showing them how easy it is to get. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox. We have OmniFlex for Medicare agents, call center teams in our soft launch, you guys. Dennis Reiner, I'll give him full credit, went out and put together some great training for a call center. And tell you what, this call center is knocking it out of the park, doing a great job. They don't even use screen share. They just go in there right over the phone and talk about short-term care, and they've done a bang-up job. Using InstaPivot at sale time, we'll show you. We have a webinar already recorded. Manny's done a great job on that. And we have completing the OmniFlex e-app, how easy that is. Gotta love an e-app that all it says at signature time is, all you got to do is ask for the maiden names. You don't even have to send out a DocuSign. You don't have to send out a special text message or call. It's immediately signatures and you're done. Okay. Finally, competitive advantage. We've got a team working right now as we speak showing OmniFlex and how it competes against traditional long-term care. It'll surprise you if you're in the long-term care trenches. You can go up with the 70-year-old who you know probably wouldn't even get through long-term care underwriting. But I'll tell you what, with OmniFlex, not only will we get them through underwriting a lot of times, but we're going to offer a plan that's more powerful and less expensive than what we would have offered with traditional long-term care. And that's a true story. I'll tell you what, it'll knock your socks off, and you'll be pleasantly surprised at how strong we can come out of the gates with that. Finally, OmniFlex versus comprehensive short-term care, and OmniFlex versus those home health care only plans out there. Again, not bashing the competition, just showing you that we have some options that might be a better choice for a lot of the people you're in front of. So we don't have to do this by bashing other companies. We can do it just by showing you how strong OmniFlex is in different circumstances. That's why it's aptly named. Finally, when we talk about the two-tiered underwriting, I do want to show you real quick just a reason why we did that with OmniFlex. And for some of you, again, this will be basic training, but for some of you, it might be a new concept. Remember, out in the short-term care market right now, there's really two types of plans. The home health care only plans that are very limited benefits, but the beauty of those plans and the reason we sell so many of them is they throw the net so wide. You can almost get anybody one of these plans. And because of that, it has to have limited benefits, and it's home health care only, so you don't have facility coverage on there. But there's a lot less risk to the carrier, so we can get by saying that's still a great plan, even though home health aides are going to be limited in the scope of how much they can offer. On the flip side, you have the full-blown comprehensive short-term care plans. Obviously, there's more underwriting knockout questions, and they have larger comprehensive benefits, so there's more risk to the carrier. What we wanted to do with OmniFlex is have the best of both worlds. We came out with Tier 1 underwriting, which is our limited benefit plan, and it's similar to underwriting to the home health care only plans, and you'll see an example of this in a minute. It's not as easy, so it's not like anybody can get it, so I don't even want to misrepresent there, but it's similar. It's definitely much, much easier to get than the full-blown short-term care plans, right? We had to protect Manhattan Life. They're such a great carrier partner with us that we wanted to protect them, so we have a $100 daily maximum limit for the facility and the home health care plan, okay? And there's no inflation available. So we wanted to have a nice little robust, don't kid yourself, $100 times 30, still a $3,000 a month plan that includes all the home health care aids and everything for the full benefit period. So you could have a year of home health care at $3,000 a month and a year of facility, okay? So still a strong plan. Secondly, and where we're selling most of our plans are our Tier 2 or our full benefit plans. With these, there's many, many less knockouts than what you have for the other short-term care plans, and I'll show you live examples of that in a second. And with the Tier 2 full benefit plan, you can have full benefits up to $400 per day to start with on the nursing home side. Remember, $400 to start with, that's $12,000 a month. You throw inflation on there, simple inflation till it doubles. Tell you what, now you're looking at when that thing matures totally, it's going to be up to $24,000 per month. And you know what? For a year, that adds up to $576,000 after restoration, or $288,000 before. So huge facility benefit side. And then on the home health care side, we can offer $300 per day, which remember, even that is $9,000 per month, strong benefit. And you throw inflation on there, and we got $18,000 per month potentially for coverage. So very, very robust plans. And that's what I was talking about with restoration, which is more common than with long-term care. You can write literally $1 million plans, or $500,000 plus without restoration. Plus, first day cash is built into not just the limited, not just the full, but the limited plans as well. So you get really strong coverage there across the board. Okay, everyone has a hospital indemnity rider, and everyone has first day cash potentially. So we really talk about this, bringing back the best of both worlds. And I'm going to show you this tool in a second. I'm not going to go into training on it, but I do want to show you the power of the way we set this plan up. And I'm going to pop it up here. This might take a second because we're on a webinar. Take a drink. This is our InstaPivot tool. And again, we have full training on this, live webinars, and we have recorded. So I'm not going to go into this at all deep today, but I will tell you, this tool is so great if you're really into the short-term care side of it, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, we up on top here, you can't read it very well on your screen probably today, but we have all of our different plans that we use, not exhaustive, but most of the ones we sell, right? So we have True Freedom's home care only plan. This is not even an insurance policy. It's just a great prepaid home care plan. Then we've got Manhattan Life's home care only, GTL's home care only, Aetna's home care plus, Manhattan's OmniFlex is in the middle here. Then we have our GTL critical cash plan, Aetna's recovery care full comprehensive short-term care plan, and GTL's full short-term care plan. Okay, I know some of you feel like you're drinking out of a garden hose. This looks really confusing, but it's really not. On the left-hand side down here, what I did is I kind of built this as an internal tool originally, and now our team has worked hard with our great IT team here at GoldenCare to put this together for agents. And it's a living, breathing tool that you'll have access to when you get appointed. And basically, all these rows on the left-hand side represent every single question asked or everything in the underwriting guide for any of these products up here. So you can real quickly see little X's that say, nope, you're not going to be able to get it, or little check marks, right? The first question down here says needs help with ADLs. If you already need help with ADLs or activities of daily living, or you're already in a facility, guess what? Everybody rightfully so runs for the hills, right? Nobody's going to cover you. But if you go one more step down, you'll see Alzheimer's, dementia, or cognitive impairment. Now you can see, hey, True Freedom will take it, Manhattan's Home Care will take it, and Aetna's Home Care Plus will take it. Even OmniFlex isn't going to go there, right? Even on our limited plan. But the nice part about this tool, and again, you'll want to see the full training because I can't even start to touch all the benefits of this. But if you have this tool, you can go in there and say, well, what if I live in Alabama? It'll click over, and one of the things my team loves about it, all these turn green if it's available in the state of Alabama. So you'll immediately know which products are available. You'll see the issue ages. And for each one, you can view additional information, and you'll be able to say state availability, get a quote, brochures, rate calculators, agent guides, everything else you need right within the tool itself, links to those. So it's really cool. But over here, you have different products. You can hide some of these if you want. Medications, we've got all 1,000+ medications that Aetna has on their list, and it'll show you based on medication whether you can get a plan or not. And over here in the keywords, if you don't want to scroll down and read all these, you can go into the keywords and type in the start of something. And if you type in like multiple sclerosis, for example, and I check it, it'll hide everything besides the MS, and it'll show you exactly what policies are available. Okay, the part I want to tell you about without going into more training on this tool today is right here. This is the power that we bring to the table with OmniFlex, if I can find it again, is right here. If you looked at all those 45 rows that represent all the different questions they'll ask you for all those different products, remember what I told you? True Freedom and Manhattan's Home Health Care Only plan had 44 yeses, but on this slide you can see GTL short-term that a lot of you are familiar with has 43 yeses. Aetna's Home Health Care Plus has 35. What I want you to see is down here, the comprehensive short-term care plans, the main competition, if you will, of OmniFlex. You can see there, they'll take 8 or 10 of those rows that are yeses, that you can get coverage. With OmniFlex, Tier 1, 33 yeses out of the 45 rows. With Tier 2, even our full benefit plan, 20 yeses. So that's really why I wanted to show you this thing. We throw the net very wide with this, and that's why we're really excited about the OmniFlex possibilities. Okay? So if I show you here, this is a state availability map. It's available right on the InstaPivot tool, but we do have 30 states available. We just announced Alaska and DC. If you happen to sell in Alaska or DC, those are the 29th and 30th states so far. We've got other ones filed. Probably end up with the mid to low 30s. And then these next slides, I'm going to use this today because of our time constraints, more as just for your future reference. But basically, this part would be the plan design part, where facility care, we can do $50 to $400 in $10 increments. Limited plans are up to $100, remember, based on the underwriting. All the elimination periods are available, and all the different benefit periods are available as well. Okay? So we do talk about the lifetime maximum after restoration is 2 times the benefit period chosen. Then we go into the optional home care rider, same deal there, up to $300 per day, $100 with limited, and again, for future reference. We talk about the fact of the bed reservation being built in and the restoration benefits being built in. Here's a nice little line on the prescription drugs to remind you how important that is, up to $300 cash back right out of the gates. Fast 50, the big differentiator. Never forget it when you're talking to your clients. People love that flexibility. It'll take away the number one objection, besides maybe affordability. The number one objection is, I'll have family and friends take care of me. This will give you a way to help out with that. And this is a slide that I'm going to spend a second on, just because some of you may not be aware, some of you might be well aware of this, but in America today, tell you what, we have tons of unpaid caregivers out there, right? Stats are different depending on where you see them, so I'm not going to read this to you, but I'll tell you what, in the unpaid market, people who just don't have insurance or they don't have any other options, there's tons of volunteer caregivers from families and communities helping people out. And I can do a whole 1-hour webinar talking about how it beats people up trying to do care and people taking time off work and losing money and losing funds, etc. Even if you have a paid caregiver, that's the part I want to make sure you understand. We love those home health care only plans. Don't get me wrong, we love them. But because they throw the net so wide on the underwriting, we end up where you have to have limited benefits for home health aides. That's the number one thing people pay for at the time of care is home health aides. They're not super duper expensive, but I'll tell you what, they are out there and they're the ones that most people lean to. Certified nursing assistants, again, a step up from home health aide as far as what they can do. They can help distribute meds, etc. They can't do prescriptions, but they can help with the meds. Second most popular. And finally, the third most popular type of home care that people get is right here, family, friends, or independents. So we know people want to have this type of care, and that's why if you tell people about OmniFlex and that Fast 50, they're going to love the opportunity to know they can get it. Okay? We talked about the hospital indemnity rider. That's available up to $300 for up to 20 days. And we have the optional simple inflation. This just shows you right from the brochure or from the illustrations how we ramp this benefit up. This is one of the things that, don't kid yourself, this absolutely positively is not a negative. This is our secret sauce and the reason that Manhattan Life was willing to go so far with this great plan, because of the fact that we designed it with this ramp up, and it's really an important part of how we do things. So if you look here, OmniFlex sample, if I sold you a $200 per day benefit, it starts out at 50%, okay, and then it ramps up equal benefits up to the full amount in the fifth policy, 6th anniversary, okay. Then if you didn't buy inflation, it levels off, and if you did buy inflation, it raises up until the 25th year when it doubles, okay. So this is a $200 example. If you were using a $400 example, it'd be $800 per day. Or remember how strong that is? $24,000 per month potentially for facility. Home health care works the same way. Okay. The reason I'm showing you this is don't be negative on this one, because number one, we have robust benefits. You can start higher, but more importantly, the reason we did this is right here. A lot of you are looking around saying, you know, how can we offer such a strong plan? It's one of the biggest objections we got when we had an Ask the Expert, easy to say. When we had that webinar, live webinar, we had agents saying, one of my hardest things to get over is people couldn't believe how strong this policy was for the premium. And you know what? That's a great problem to have. And this is where we talk about this 5%. I'm going to do it fast here because I kind of went over it already. This 5-year ramp up is huge because of the fact that if somebody goes on claim in the first couple of years, we don't really want you to sell them OmniFlex. Truthfully, we'd rather have you sell something else. And if they do go on in the first couple of years, remember, it starts at a pretty strong 50%, so it still offers really nice benefits. So even if somebody accidentally goes on claim in the first couple of years, it's not a deal killer. It's still a strong policy, and I'll show you an example of that. Okay. Once it ramps up, tell you what, sky's the limit. This 5% is what makes us work. This 5-year ramp up is what makes this plan work so well. We sell a lot of people, if they get tier 2, they'll buy the inflation on there, and then you go all the way up here until it doubles. We do put a 2 times max, so we don't have runaway inflation on this plan. But I'll tell you what, the big key here is 20 out of 45 of those rows get a yes because of the way we set this plan up. Because of that 5-year ramp up, we have the ability to offer more benefits at claim time. And that's what's so important when you're offering a policy like this. I don't care how much the benefits are when I buy it as much as at claim time, what are they going to be? Think about long-term care when you talk about, remember at claim time, it's going to be down the road. You might want to put inflation on. Same concept here, okay? And if you look at this screen, it looks really confusing, but it's a great one to come to an end with, is this plan really shows the power of Omni. And we used to have plan A, B, or C in there, but basically Aetna's a big player in the industry. They've been around a long time. They're great policy. Don't get me wrong. We still have agents who are on their top leaderboard of selling Aetna. But the numbers don't lie, right? If I take OmniFlex and I put it on there at $200 per day, this looks really confusing, but bear with me. It's pretty easy to understand. Identical benefits for facility, right? $200 per day for a year, 20-day limit. And if I put on the home health care, strongest benefits available, $300 per day for a year, versus Aetna, they do that weekly thing, right? $1,200 per week for 52 weeks, both with 0-day elimination. And then I cheated a little bit and I did spousal rates here because we offer a 5% spousal rate. Aetna doesn't, but I'll talk about that in a second. At the end of the day, with the 10% discount in there, look at the premiums. If I'm looking at a 61-year-old, I tell them, well, OmniFlex is $1,000 a year. Aetna's $1,357 for this example. That's a 24% premium savings right out of the gate. What's the 46% represent? We have a built-in prescription drug reimbursement, right? If you use that full $300, some will, some won't, doesn't matter. If you used it all, you'd end up with 46% overall less premium than Aetna year in and year out. That's pretty scary. Even without the 10% I threw in there as a dirty Ernie, even without that, those numbers are still impressive. 15.6% less without the reimbursement, 37.7% less with the reimbursement. So either way, you're saving significant premium dollars out of the gate. Plus, remember, we have the Fast 50 option built into every plan. So with OmniFlex, you'd have $75 per day or $27,000 as a pool of money the first year if you went on claim right away out of the gates. Now, there's a lot of green over here with Aetna, right? Why is that? I sold you a $200 per day facility and $300 home care, but remember, I start at 50% benefits with OmniFlex, so we haven't started to mature yet. So right out of the gates, you know what? I could get $200 a day coverage from Aetna. I could get 171 average for that $1,200 a week. We're sitting at 150. The pool of money's smaller. If I was looking at my mom or somebody I loved, I'd say, you know what? If you know absolutely for sure you're going to go on claim in the first year or two, Aetna's probably a better deal. We're trying to eliminate that adverse selection, and we're trying to educate our agents and our clients that what matters is benefits at claim time. That's why OmniFlex is turning heads, because watch what happens. Even in the third year, we haven't even totally matured yet, right? We haven't totally matured, and we're still saving up to 46% premium, right? Every year that's going to be the same. And you can see here, now we're sitting down here at $120 for family and friends, $43,000 pool because it started to grow, right? Zero over here with Aetna. Now, if I look at home care, wow, $240 per day to 171 average. Pool of money's bigger, 86,400. Now the green is shifted over here to home care to say it's pretty easy to see. Stronger home care with OmniFlex, even in the third year. Now our facility hasn't totally matured yet, so you'd see that you only have 160 in a smaller pool. I'll still give the green to Aetna on that one. If it's facility care, third year, they're still nipping us. But watch what happens once we fully mature, and any time after that. Now it becomes a no-brainer, right? I've saved my client 16, 24, or 37, or 46% premium, whatever the case is. I've saved them a ton of premium, and I've got equal facility benefits, and my home care is a 73% bigger pool and a much bigger daily benefit. Plus, I've got $150 and a strong $54,000 if they decided to do that Fast 50 cash alternative. So you can see there, it's almost a no-brainer at 15 years. There's no inflation, so the numbers are the same. That's the power of what we bring to the table with OmniFlex. And the reason I circled the 61 is whatever age I put in here, I built this tool, and our team built this tool to go around and show you no matter what age you're at, those greens don't really change. we compete very, very, very well. The only thing you have to get over is that ramp up, and again, it is not a secret. It's our secret sauce. I can't stress that enough. Don't be afraid to talk to your clients about it. Don't be afraid to say, it's real simple to understand. It starts at 50%, goes up in equal increments for 5 years, and it's a simple thing to show them. But once they see the power at the time they'll probably go on claim, if they ever have to, God forbid, you know what? This policy outperforms most of them in the industry. So that being said, I'll tell you what, I can't stress enough the fact that we have other tools in our arsenal, and we have recorded trainings to help support what I talked about today. I know there's tons of things I went over, and some of you literally probably thought, wow, that was way too much information to absorb. We understand. We have recorded trainings available. Go to our website, goldencareusa.com. And one other thing I'm going to show you before I let you go is we have a full asset page for you. So when you get appointed with it, we even customize some of these asset pages for certain big agencies, etc. Talk to our RDs. We have the best regional directors and marketing support staff available. Talk to them about it. You'll see on your resource page everything I went through here today. There's that 3-minute intro video. Here's how to fill out an app to show you just how easy it is to fill out an application on that Manhattan 2.0 site. We'll show you all the different things you could want, frequently asked questions, the agent guide, consumer brochure, anything you'd want, including the RX reimbursement form, etc. Plus, down here, Manhattan's got a really strong home health care only plan. Their Home Health Care Select is an upgrade from their existing home care plan. You can see the state availability. One of either the orange or the blue shows the orange is the new one, the blue is the existing. They're going to expand out and fill all those blue hopefully with the orange soon. But at the end of the day, it's a great, great policy. And we're going to show you in our advanced training how to go out and sell an OmniFlex with the complement of a home health care plan. You can do that. They'll allow you not to sell 2 OmniFlex plans to the same client, but I'll tell you what, you can go out and sell an OmniFlex with another plan if you'd like to. So lots of good things there. You'll check out that. You'll see a link to that on the once you get appointed. And otherwise, I've been yapping at you for my full 45 minutes probably. So I will tell you what, if you have questions in here, I'll have my team make sure they address those. But I really want to sincerely tell you, this is Tom Randall again from GoldenCare. Thank you so much for going out and taking your valuable time today to listen to me yell a lot of different things at you. But I will tell you this, we'll have the tools available for you wherever situation you're in. And if you're not offering this to your clients, you're missing out. If you're just selling long-term care still, I hate to say it, those days are past. Long-term care is a great, great, great product, but we're going to want to make sure we have ways to pivot into these products that are going to throw the net wider. And secondly, I do want to let you know that I appreciate all you do, and we have other tools available for you. So thank you very much for listening today, and I'll jump off here and look forward to working with you in the year to come. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
OmniFlex. Put it in your portfolio today. Call GoldenCare at 800-842-7799.